Black history is American history. The contributions of African Americans can be found in every fabric of America, from sports to science, from entertainment to education, from Bunker Hill to Capitol Hill. African Americans have influenced every ounce of American culture and American life. Hello, I'm Anthony Davis, and on this program, we will talk about some of those who have made a difference, both past and present, and events that help make America America. America, land of the brave and the free. It is a melting pot that has become home to millions from around the world, those seeking a new home and a better life, and even those seeking asylum from religious persecution made their escape to America. Most of those who make up America's culture came free and on their own accord, while others came by a more brutal method. African Americans make up a big part of the American culture, but our journey here wasn't by choice. It was over the infamous Middle Passage. The Middle Passage was part of the Triangle Trade, where goods like guns, rum, textiles, and manufactured goods were sent from Europe to Africa. This was the first part of the Triangle Trade. Once in Africa, these goods were brought for captured or bought Africans. The second part of the Triangle Trade is the infamous Middle Passage. This is the stage of the Triangular Trade where millions of Africans were forcibly transported to the New World as part of the Atlantic slave trade and sold into slavery in North and South America. The ships emptied their slave cargo, picked up items like tobacco and sugar, and finished the triangle back in Europe, where this horrendous cycle repeated itself again and again for centuries. The duration of the transatlantic voyages varied widely, anywhere from 1 to 6 months, depending on weather conditions. The journey became more efficient over the centuries. While an average transatlantic journey of the early 16th century lasted several months, by the 19th century, the crossing often required fewer than 6 weeks. Captives would be chained together in the hull of the ship with barely enough room to sit up. Much of the journey was made on their backs in waste, filth, disease, and death. The conditions on the ships and the treatment of slaves was so horrific, the captives would often commit suicide by starvation or jumping overboard. Insurrection was not common, but did take place on some ships, with little to no success. Those involved were severely punished and sometimes put to death. Those that revolted, the sick, weak, and the dead were often thrown to the sea. It has been said that the migratory pattern of sharks from Africa to the west was due to them following slave ships to feast on those thrown overboard. Also, it was not uncommon for slavers to tie anchors to their captives and throw them overboard alive to avoid arrest from naval ships patrolling the area. The Middle Passage lasts from about 1518 to the mid-19th century. During that time, millions of African men, women, and children were forced to make the voyage. It is estimated 15% of the Africans died at sea during those voyages. For those that survived the journey, a lifetime of tremendous servitude awaited. Those put to slavery, great Americans. I'm Anthony Davis, and this has been Black History, American History. Thank you for watching.